We spent 7 million years becoming the smartest form of life on this planet, yet we may lose that title in just the next 7 years. Why are the creators of artificial intelligence now afraid of their own code? We are used to standing at the top of the food chain only because of our intelligence, but today we are voluntarily building something that could make us second. This is not just another program or a convenient app on your smartphone. It is the beginning of a new chapter in life on Earth, where the rules may no longer be written by us. If you feel frustrated watching neural networks write dissertations and create art, you are not alone. We are standing at a point that future historians may call the greatest shift in human history. And to understand where we are going, we first need to realize how much it cost us to earn the right to call ourselves intelligent. Intelligence is power. It is the ability to learn, to reason, and to solve problems. Throughout the history of Earth, intelligence is what allowed species to survive. The first brains appeared in flatworms around 500 million years ago, a tiny cluster of neurons built for basic functions. Evolution moved unbearably slowly. The brain is an expensive luxury. It consumes enormous amounts of energy, so for a very long time, nature preferred narrow intelligence. Birds needed to fly. Fish needed to swim. But 7 million years ago, something changed in our ancestors. Their brains began to grow faster than those of their relatives. Our intelligence transformed from a narrow screwdriver into a multi-tool. We began not just adapting to the world, but transforming it. We tamed fire, created tools, and learned to pass knowledge down through generations, outrunning biological evolution itself. In the last 200 years, progress became exponential. We invented electricity, antibiotics, the internet. We built a world that fully serves our needs. But now we are building machines that may surpass us in the very skill that gave us power over the planet. Artificial intelligence is software built on silicon instead of neurons. For a long time, it was primitive. In the 1960s, it was lines of code on paper. In the 1990s, it was chessbots that could defeat a world champion, yet were utterly useless at anything else. We comforted ourselves with the idea that this was just narrow intelligence, like a bee, incredibly efficient at collecting nectar, but never capable of writing a symphony. But in recent years, the rules of the game have changed. We stopped simply writing instructions for computers. We taught them to learn on their own. Modern neural networks are vast structures of artificial neurons that begin with a blank slate and improve through millions of repetitions. And the most frightening part is that even their creators do not fully understand what is happening inside this black box. We see the result, an algorithm that recognizes faces, drives cars, and passes exams at the level of a PhD. Today's chatbots are trained on the entire body of text humanity has ever written. They manipulate language better than most of us, and although they are still considered narrow systems, their range has become astonishingly wide. They are not just solving one task, they are changing the very structure of our economy, our education, and our creativity. Many students and young professionals today ask themselves, why should I study for years if an algorithm can do my work in seconds? It is a natural feeling. We are watching AI already outperform humans in IQ tests, in law, in medicine, and even in such subtle things as wine tasting. We are told that common sense and empathy will remain human strengths, but the boundary of what AI cannot do is shrinking rapidly. If progress continues at this pace, we will inevitably face the emergence of artificial general intelligence, or AGI, a system capable of performing any intellectual task a human can perform. Imagine software that is not limited by biology. It does not need sleep, it does not get distracted, and it can be copied infinitely. If we create one AGI capable of conducting scientific research, we could create 1 million such scientists. Imagine 1 million minds working around the clock, thinking 10 times faster than a human being and instantly sharing experience with one another. This could lead to solving climate change, curing cancer, or unlocking limitless energy. But there is another side to it. In a world where intelligence becomes an infinite and cheap commodity, what will remain of human significance, and who will control that power? Corporations and governments are now participating in an arms race with no brakes, because whoever stops first loses. But the greatest risk is not a robot uprising from the movies, it is the alignment problem. AI does not need to hate humans in order to harm us. If its goals are even slightly misaligned with ours, the consequences could be catastrophic. When we build a skyscraper, we do not hate the ants on the construction site. We simply build the skyscraper, and the ants are an insignificant inconvenience. For a future superintelligence, humanity may become the same kind of anthill, something that merely gets in the way of a more efficient use of the planet's resources. We are used to thinking of AI as an external tool, like a screwdriver or a hammer. But what if our salvation lies not in competing with it, but in becoming part of it? We have reached a moment when the biological firmware of our brains is beginning to grow obsolete. Perhaps the only way not to become ants to future machines is symbiosis, the integration of our consciousness with the technologies we create. It sounds like insane science fiction, but remember, a modern smartphone would have seemed like magic to anyone living 100 years ago. We are standing on the threshold of the greatest transformation in the history of life. We need time to build institutions of control and ethical frameworks, but we have almost none. We are racing toward this future at the speed of light, with no seatbelts. The central question of our time is not whether AI will take your job, or whether it will write your essay for you. The question is whether we will realize our role in this new world before we become unnecessary in it. We are not just witnesses to progress, we are its creators, and right now, we are making a decision that will echo through all of future history. What matters is not how intelligent artificial minds will become, but how wise we will remain while possessing them. The choice is still ours, but the window for that choice is closing faster than we can even comprehend.